welcome to another core and stretch video. Today's video will be like our other core and stretch videos. We're going to do 3 core exercises, roughly about a minute each. We'll take a little break, we'll do them again, and then we're going to finish with some gentle stretching. You shouldn't need any equipment for this, just a mat or at least a soft surface. If you have yoga blocks or you have pillows, they're always a great idea to have nearby, but you don't absolutely need them. Alright, we're going to begin in a comfortable seated position, so on your knees or cross-legged, and we're just going to take 3 breaths together before we begin. So let's close our eyes and take a nice deep inhale breath here. And then exhale, letting it go. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to come to our back on our mat, and we're just going to start with a basic crunch. So you're going to come on your back, and your knees are going to be bent to 90 degrees. Your arms are by your side, and you're going to engage your core so there's no space between your lower back and the mat. And then we're going to squeeze that core to lift those shoulder blades off the mat, and then lower back down. So nice and controlled here. Not a super complicated movement, but very effective. You're going to go slow and control, squeezing that core to really lift those shoulder blades off the mat here. And we are breathing. Beautiful. Using that breath, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace here. We're going to stay here for about 15 more seconds, and we are going to come to the top of that crunch. So you're going to squeeze that belly, and your shoulder blades are going to be lifted off the mat. And from the top of the crunch, we're just going to pulse it out for 20 counts. So all you're going to do is squeeze that core to pulse. In 3, 2, and 1. Shoulder blades lifted, coming to the top of that crunch. Here we go. Squeeze. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release back onto the mat. Deep inhale breath here. Exhale. Letting it go. Alright, second core exercise, we're going to do a reverse crunch. So you're going to engage that core once again so there's no space between your lower back and the mat. And you're going to bring your knees in towards your chest. With your arms by your side, you're going to squeeze that core to slightly lift your hips off the mat, and then slowly lower down as you extend your legs out to a hover. And then you're going to bring those knees back in towards the chest, slightly lift those hips, and come back up. So we're doing that crunch with the lower part of our body this time. And what I want you to think about when you extend the legs is finding a spot where you can still keep that connection between your lower back and the mat. So if it means keeping your legs a little higher, like I am, keep them a little higher. You want to maintain that strong core connection. Beautiful. Breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Moving at your own pace here, just making sure those movements are controlled. We're really squeezing that core. Beautiful. Alright, in 10 seconds, we're going to leave those legs extended. Now extended to wherever you can still keep that lower back connection. And we're just going to scissor the legs one on top of the other for a 20 count. We're going to head there in 3, 2, 1. So legs extended wherever you have that connection. And here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Nicely done. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Letting it go. Fabulous. All right, for our third and final core exercise, we're going to come on to our, well, not quite our belly, but we're going to come onto our palms for a plank position. So you can do your plank from your palms with your palms underneath your shoulders, or you can do it from your forearms. From here, we're going to make sure that back is nice and straight and our core is engaged. Now, you can just hold a plank Otherwise, we're going to step out to the side with one foot, back to center, out to the side, back to center. So you can tap that plank out, or you stay right where you are. Now remember, you can do this from your forearms with your elbows underneath your shoulders. Wherever you are breathing here. Keep that core tight, nice and strong. Beautiful. All right, we aren't going to add on to this, but we're going to hang out here 10 more seconds. Almost done. Keep breathing. Last 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Come down onto your belly, pick a cheek, rest it on the mat, arms come to your side. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, let it go. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do that core cycle one more time, but before we do, we're going to just stretch out that lower back. You're going to take your palms, you're going to plant them nice and tight in towards your chest here. We're going to press into those palms, and we're going to use that chest and that lower back to draw the chest forward. Elbows nice and tight towards your side here. As much as you press into the palms, I want you to think about lifting from that lower back here as you extend forward. Option to press fully into the palms, straightening out those arms, and breathing. Beautiful. Take one more breath right here. Then we're going to press into those palms wherever we are. Hips come to heels, child's pose. Now your knees can be together or they can be nice and wide. Arms can be in front or down by your side, whatever feels good for your body here. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do that core cycle one more time. So you're going to come back onto your back, and we're going to go back right into that crunch. So our knees are bent to 90 degrees, our core is engaged, no space between our lower back and the mat, arms by our side. Here we go, squeezing to come up and lowering back down. Squeezing to lift those shoulder blades off the mat and lowering back down. So it's not a sit up, you don't need to go all the way up, it's a crunch. We're squeezing that core so tight that we're able to lift those shoulder blades up off the mat. Beautiful. And just breathing here. So, once again, we're going to finish this exercise out with a pulse. So you're going to stop at the top in just a second, shoulder blades lifted, and you're going to squeeze the belly for a 20 count pulse. In 3, in 2, and 1. So shoulder blades lifted, core is tight. Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. All right, we're going to reverse crunch now. So knees still bent to 90 degrees. You're going to bring them in towards your chest. Now, arms are by your side. From here, we squeeze that core to lift the hips slightly off the mat, and then slowly lower back down, extending those legs out to a hover, keeping that connection between the lower back and the mat, and then bringing the knees back in, hips come back up. So again, going at your own pace here, but I want you to be able to find control, keeping that core nice and tight, and always being able to maintain that connection between that lower back and the mat when you're extending those legs. Fabulous. So same as last time, we're going to stop with those legs extended, and we're going to scissor those legs one on top of the other, finding a spot where you still have the connection between your lower back and the mat. In 3, in 2, and 1. Legs extend. Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Beautiful. Okay, last core exercise here. You're going to come back into plank one final time. Once again, it can be from your forearms or your palms. Option is to just hold the plank. Otherwise, this time we're just going to lift one leg into the air rather, and lower back down. Opposite leg comes into the air and lower back down. So I'm going to think about keeping your weight shifted forward, shoulders in line with palms, or shoulders in line with elbows if you're on your forearms, and just squeezing that core tight, keeping that back in one straight line. Gaze is forward and down. Beautiful. All right, this is it. Holding here, last 10 seconds. Squeeze that core tight. Inhaling. Exhaling. 3, 2, and release. Beautiful. Gently, slowly lower to your mat. Opposite cheek to your mat now. Arms by your side. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. All right, from here we're going to stretch out that lower back. Again, we are done with our core, moving into just stretches. So you can come back right here to Cobra where we were last time, or I invite you to take it to Sphinx pose. So your elbows are going to come underneath your shoulders. Your forearms are parallel like train tracks, tight on your mat. We're going to start to draw that chest forward and through, squeezing those shoulder blades together on your mat, on your back rather, maybe closing those eyes. Inhaling, exhaling. Beautiful. Taking a couple breaths here, thinking about really drawing those shoulder blades down and back. Beautiful. Last breath here. Wherever you are, you're going to gently release. You're going to press into those palms, and your hips are going to come back towards your heels for child's pose here. Now, once again, your legs can be together or your knees can be nice and wide here. Arms forward, relaxed on your mat. Breathing here. Alright, we're going to extend child's pose a little longer, but we're going to do it to specifically stretch out those lats in our back here. So, you're going to bring your knees maybe a little bit closer together, and maybe you're going to come onto your toes here. And I want you to allow your hips to draw back towards your heels as you extend your arms forward. Now for this one, again, maybe your hips or your knees are wider and your hips are back. That's actually what gives you the stretch. But really want you to focus on is pressing into those palms and pressing into those hips. So we have a nice stretch and extension that's really meant to extend those lats here, feeling that stretch through your back. Now if your forehead doesn't touch the mat, it might be a good opportunity to use a block or a pillow here, and really focusing on pressing back into those hips as you press into your palms to feel that lengthening through your back. Beautiful. We're going to take one more breath here. And then gently making your way up onto your hands and knees, we're going to come into a tabletop position for cat-cow. So your palms are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, your toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels better for you. On your inhale breath, you're going to just gently draw your chest forward and up. And on the exhale, you're arching that back like an angry cat. So depending on the pace of your breath, you get about 7 to 10 breath cycles here. So when I do this at your own pace, maybe closing your eyes, focusing on your inhale, focusing on your exhale. Just working some nice mobility through that back here. Now if there's any point at which you want to pause and explore a little, maybe do a little wiggle, a little shake if that feels good. please feel free to do that. This is your time here. I want you to make it count for your body. All right, let's take our last breath cycle here. So taking your time here, inhaling. And your exhale. And then when you're ready, you're just going to gently make your way back onto your knees. We're just going to take a couple shoulder rolls here. So you can sit down, just roll those shoulders backwards, rolling them forwards. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go into stretching out the back of our leg. So we're going to do one leg at a time. Let's start with our left leg first. So you can come back up onto your knees. We're going to take that left leg forward in front of us and point those toes towards us as we just gently hinge the hips over the leg. So if you already know that you're not going to be able to make it down so that your hands can come to the ground comfortably with a straight back, you're going to use pillows or blocks, or maybe you're going to stay right here because you already feel that stretch, and maybe you just slightly lean forward. What we're looking for is a really nice stretch through the back of the left leg. So again, if you're coming forward, you're making sure to hinge at those hips and keeping them straight back as you come forward over that left leg. And wherever you land, I want you to make sure you're not holding on to any tension here. That you're breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. And again, with this one, it isn't about how far you make it over your leg. It's that you're feeling the really nice stretch through the back of the leg. All right, one last breath right here. You're going to slowly, gently make your way back up. And if you can, with your balance, you're just going to give that leg a nice shake out. If you need to grab onto something for balance, while you do, grab onto something. And we're just going to switch sides. So that right leg's going to come forward now, pointing those right toes towards you. And then you're just hinging at your hips if that's where you're going over that right leg. Otherwise, you can stay upright. Maybe you're feeling a really great stretch right here, or you hinge slightly, but not enough to bring those hands down. Again, it does not matter where you're landing. I just want you to make sure that wherever you're landing, that you're not holding on to any tension. And then if we're coming forward, we try to hinge from that back, those hips rather, and keep that back nice and straight. Beautiful. Let's take one last breath here on this right side. And then slowly, gently beginning to make your way back up. And again, grabbing onto something for support. If you need it, shaking out that right leg here. All right, from here we're going to come into a quadricep opener. So we're going to bring those hips those knees rather nice and wide, maybe about mat width apart if you're on a yoga mat. And then your feet are going to come just outside your hips here. And then you're going to just gently make your way back. Now, maybe for some of us right here, this is where we feel it. Fantastic. You're going to stay right there. Otherwise, maybe you can come down to forearms and still keep those knees down on the ground. Otherwise, you can begin to make your way all the way down onto your back. Your arms can be up above your head, grasping onto opposite hand, or they can be cactus if that feels more comfortable. So wherever you are, breathing here. Just allowing your body to settle. Notice if you're consciously or unconsciously holding on to any tension. Acknowledging it and then letting it go. Beautiful. Let's take one last breath here. And slowly, gently begin to make your way back up. And you're going to make your way into either a tabletop or a downward dog. So tabletop, you're on hands and knees. And you're just going to shake one leg out and then the other. Downward dog, we're in an inverted V here. Our hips are pressed towards the ceiling. Our palms are flat on the mat. Maybe pedaling one leg and then the other. This is meant to just let that fresh blood flow back through here. Beautiful. And then from here, you're going to come through onto your knees. We're just going to take a nice gentle side stretch. So you can be on your knees, or you can be cross-legged, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And we're going to take our left hand and we're just going to extend it over to the side and bring that right palm towards the ground here. So just a nice gentle side stretch. Again, you can do this from a cross-legged position. If you're quite flexible, you might find that maybe your forearm actually comes down to the ground as you side stretch over here. Maybe closing those eyes here. And again, seeing if you can extend just a little farther. Drop just a little deeper with each breath. Beautiful. One more breath right here. And then gently make your way back to the top. Roll those shoulders and switch sides. So we're going to put that left palm on the mat and we're just going to extend that right arm out to the side here. So really just looking for a nice lengthening through that right oblique. Again, if you're flexible, you might find that you can come all the way down onto that forearm, or that it feels more comfortable to do this from a cross-legged position. Whatever feels good for your body. Just making sure we can keep that nice lengthening through that right side here as we extend that arm over the head, allowing the neck to follow that nice curve that we're creating with our side here. And just breathe. Let's take one last breath here. Gently coming back to center. We're just going to do a gentle twist right here. So just going to gently turn slightly to that right. Bring that left hand outside of your right thigh. And to the opposite side. Right hand just outside that left thigh. Gentle twist here. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna make our way back onto our back on our mat for a hip opener. And we're gonna take our right ankle to start over our left knee. Then you're gonna grab onto either your shin or your left thigh with those hands, and you're just gonna gently pull towards you here. So we should feel a nice opening through that right hip. Maybe closing those eyes if that feels nice here. Beautiful. Remembering just allowing that body to sink just a little deeper with each breath. Let's take our last breath here. Now we're going to release that left leg. Now you're going to take the right knee and you're going to fully cross it over the left leg. You're going to bring your arms out to cactus, and we're going to shift our hips to the right. We're going to drop our knees to the left here for just a nice gentle twist. So you can keep your gaze looking at the ceiling, or you can bring it opposite of those knees over your right shoulder. Eyes can be closed here. Just breathing. One more breath right here. And gently shift those hips back to center as you bring your knees back to center. We're going to switch sides for thread the needle. So now we're going to cross our left ankle over our right knee. We're going to grab onto either the left shin or right shin or right thigh, pulling it towards you as you open up that left hip. Keeping those shoulders on your mat. Maybe closing those eyes. Breathing here. Take one more breath in this left hip opener. Beautiful. Gently release that right leg. Once again, we're going to cross that left ankle over so our knees are crossed here. Arms can come to cactus. You're going to shift your hips to the left and drop your knees to the right for a nice twist here. So again, gaze can be towards the ceiling, or you can look this time towards your left hand. Opposite direction of those knees. Just breathing here. Beautiful. Take one last breath in this twist. And slowly bring those knees back to center, shifting your hips back to center. We're just going to release those knees, so we're going to bend them to 90 degrees and just going to gently let those knees drop from side to side. Just windshield wipering here, releasing that lower back. Beautiful. We're just going to finish with a happy baby before we finish in our corpse pose. So you're going to draw your knees drawn towards your chest and out to the side. We're going to take our hands and bring them inside the legs. Then we're going to grab on the outside of our feet, or shins or ankles, or wherever we can get hold of. Using those elbows to open up your inner thighs here. You're going to draw your back down against your mat as you pull those feet down and towards you. Beautiful. So simultaneously, we should be feeling a nice lengthening through that lower back, as well as an opening through our inner thighs here. And if it feels good to rock from side to side, please do so. If it feels good to keep those eyes closed, please do so. Let's take one final breath right here. Inhaling, exhaling, and then just gently releasing those legs one at a time. Your arms come by your side. Legs are wide, arms are wide, taking up space here, closing those eyes, coming to corpse pose. So we're going to end here for a moment or two. Before we do, let's take one final breath together. So nice deep inhale here. Exhale. Beautiful. Just allowing that body to sink deep into your mat or your floor. Just taking a couple of breaths here, allowing your body to just absorb all the work you just did. And just finish with an acknowledgement of gratitude. So taking a moment to either acknowledge yourself, giving gratitude for your body, for showing up for you, or if there's anyone else or anything else you want to show gratitude or give gratitude for, please do. So if you're comfortable where you are and you just want to extend it for a moment or two longer, don't move. Otherwise, you can slowly, gently begin to make your way back up into a seated position to finish this off. All right, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're keeping safe and well. And until next time, peace and love.